This meeting is now being recorded.
Okay, hello everybody for another XStepCafe session. Today I'd like to show you something which is not XStep related but plant connectivity related, but it has some touch with XSteps and PI sheets. And together with me here is Uwe, my colleague, and we will split the session a little bit. So it's, today it's a real prepared session again with some demos again. Yeah, just let's get on quickly. Maybe I'll first get into the blog and show you the presentation for those who haven't had a chance to look at it. This is my last post here. SAP Plant Connectivity is available, and here's the presentation. Okay, just quickly go through the news here. So plant connectivity, for those who don't know it, is a small Windows.NET based software which allows to read data from OPC and other data sources and bring that data into other systems like SAP MRI, SAP ME, and now also with this new release to SAP ERP and Business Suite even. So that's what is new here, and that, you see that here. So we've added RC destinations to the Business Suite and also to SAP ODA, which is what we want to show today. Okay. There are some other things added which are more details on the source side. I don't want to go here into much detail. Just give you the highlight here. It's not very good from the viewing angle here, but it should do it here. You can download this presentation on the blog site. So, so before this release, it was we only had this left part here. So MRI, SAP ME, and EWM, which you could connect with SAP Plant Connectivity, and therefore there you could connect it to devices. So that was before PCo 2.2, and now we added this right part where we have two access points to the Business Suite. One is the old-fashioned ODA, and the other is a real NetWeaver access. So what does that mean? So first, and that is also my part, which I wanted to demonstrate, is here the right part. As you might know, there is the SAP ODA connector software, which is available still. You can download it. It's a small executable file with a small service you can enable, which is, allows you to access OPC DA OPC server information to PI sheets and some other things there in the area of PP and PPPI. What we basically did, we just took the same interface structure which that software was using, and we've implemented it into PCo 2.2. So that's the RC destination for ODA, and so we can really do the very same thing there with plant connectivity. What is the benefit for that? I had a lot of questions in the last couple of years concerning the availability of this ODA connector, and also in the documentation it stated that it is it can be used with Windows 95 and NT, but there's nothing else. And it also works with Windows 7. I've tested it, but for SAP to really state that it works with other operation systems. We have to do tests and all these kind of things and update the documentation. And it's an old software. We probably don't want to invest more into that part. And since PCo is now the state of the art for shop floor integration there, we decided to put it just in there. So you can just exchange the very same setup here with plant connectivity. And I'd like to show you how. So that's, I think, all from the slide point of view. So let's put that back here. And yeah, so this is the plant connectivity management console. And just a brief roundup what you see here. I already had a session about PCo, so I don't want to go into detail here. So you have here it's in German. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Probably I should change that here very quickly to English and.
But German is okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that again here. So now it's in English. Okay. So here's the source system. I've installed an OPC server here. It's Kepware. So here you see all the OPC servers on my machine here. And this is just an entry here which says, okay, I have one source system which points to exactly this OPC server. Okay, there are some settings here you can do pretty common things from in OPC terms. You can also define aliases, sort of to be able to restrict your namespace to a certain subset of tags if you want. So these are the basic settings here. And here on destination, that's the new part, is you can have when I create a new destination here, you have now the possibility to choose RC destination here. And that's what I did here. So I cancel here. And so you enter certain things like application server, and the system number, client, and the user.
Your recording has reached maximum length.
And
message sent. Goodbye, and thank you for your call.
Thank you. And you have to specify the type SAP ODA. And also one remark in terms of licensing of PCo, if you use plant connectivity only for ODA replacement scenarios, then PCo is free of charge. You have to obtain a license. So there's no license key here installed, but it's free. But you have to apply for license key here. So okay, we have ODA here. There are some advanced settings here. I don't want to go into details there. So that's the precondition you have to do here. And then I have created an agent instance for this source system. So this is based on the Kepware. You see this here. So it's an agent instance based on the Kepware source system. And what I did here is in the query port sections, I selected the SAP ODA RSC server here. I activated it here. I have to specify or deliver all the settings you probably know already. So this is the program ID, the gateway host, the gateway service. So all things that you might already know here with the SAP ODA. That's the same thing. You can also test the gateway registration here. So that's fine. Oh yeah, that I forgot that here. Also here you can also check connections here. So that's also something you can do here. So okay, so that's what you have to do here, and also you have to specify the system you had created here in the destination system, also here in the term called repository system. I did it just wrong yesterday, and therefore it didn't work. So that's some common common error you might do, that you forget to specify this. So that's why I point you specifically onto this here. All right, so that's what you have to do here. There are some settings which might be useful. Normally, you would have the log level here on error. I put it on verbose to maybe show you some things here. Also some more settings. I don't want to go into more details right now because the documentation would offer you all this. I just want to give you really a streamlined demo here. What you also have to do, and that's really important here, in contrast to the normal procedures from plant connectivity, you have to provide, if you want to do subscriptions, so if you want to enable that you can, from ERP, subscribe to a data point, you have to provide a template, and that's what I call here ODA. It's a notification here for PCo. And if you here create a new notification, you see here there's this flag which is called template. You have to flag that so that it is marked as a template. And if it is a template, you don't have I can show you another notification. You don't have this output thing here where you can specify what output you have. Yeah? And you have instead you have something different. You have got this remote subscription tab, which is also grayed out here. It says template, and you can specify here how long your subscription will live if you do that subscription from ERP. That's also quite interesting here. And you have to provide the destination again here, which you have created here. So that's all the things you need to set up. Of course, it's all in the documentation. It should be documented there quite thoroughly. And what I also did here is, in parallel, I have also another notification here, which is a simulation notification, just to show you also that it's working also in another direction. Also, that's something which is interesting for testing purposes, but not for productive purposes, of course. Okay. What you see here, that is an old entry which would probably be deleted in once the lifetime has ended. That's an entry that would occur if you really actually do the subscription. I can probably delete that right now because I don't have. Do I? Oh, I have one here, so I probably I have stopped it. So probably I delete that one here to make a clean situation here. Save the whole thing, and let's go to ERP for a moment. So I'll just exit here and go to the SM59 and TCP IP connections. And here I have one connection here which is pointing to SAP ODA. So I've got on my machine also SAP ODA running here. So that works as usual. And this one here, ODA PCo, is really has really the same entries here, apart from the program ID. Of course, I took here a different program ID. Same settings here, and it doesn't work because, and that's what I will change now here, I have to start the agent instance, of course. And once it's started, you would normally use this, and that's the default. It's a service, and that would be started automatically. So this is just an administrative console. You just set it once, and then it's a service in Windows, and it would be started automatically when you reboot the machine, for example. Okay, so now I'll do that again. Make the connection test, and here you go. So that's working right now, and nothing else to do here. So I'm going back to the customizing for OPC. And here on the OPC server settings, I've got here this entry already prepared. This is my RC destination I just had here. And here you see the OPC server ID. And let me just quickly go to the other entry. the ODA case, that looks slightly different. Yeah. So, and also here the connection test looks like that. You see just capware, so running, okay, and I switch to the PCo case again, and here you see this looks like that, and I can browse here, and it gives me so that's already the first call to PCo, so to give the available OPC service. Of course, since I do that mapping in the management console here of PCo, this is already fixed, so there won't be any multiple entries as in ODA connector. Yeah? So that's something which is different, of course. Okay, now let's do the next thing here, connection test. Here you see a little bit more information. You see the cache mode that your agent instance is in. So there are different cache modes there in PCo. That's a minor detail, but it's some more information that you see here. You can display the namespace here. So all this thing is then going over the RC connection here, and maybe I'll just switch so that you see what's happening. Here's the log, and I'll just first delete the log so that it will be empty. So refresh, so there's nothing in there. And now I'm going back here, and what I'm now doing is I'm reading the item values here. So I'm pressing here, and now it reads all the items. You see here that something is happening here, and I refresh the log, and yeah, there you see all these things are visible here because I set this logging level to verbose. Of course, that's not does not make sense for a product system, because then this log would be very full. Okay, so that's this thing here. I'll go one step further to the items, and I've got also here one item prepared. So that's the very same OPC server. I can, of course, also do the browsing here, same as before. Just cancel that because I already have chosen one. I can read. Then it says 5, and I have got another OPC client here, which you see here. So I can just write something else here. So like famous number 42, and I'm reading synchronously here, and it works. And I click here, and I'm writing maybe this 33 here, and checking here, and you see it works. So that works fine. And the next thing would be, let me just delete the log here for the moment, and I'm going here to this register tab, and press here on register, and hopefully it will work here. So you see something has happened. It has added some subscription items here and notifications. And what this really means is it becomes visible if you exit here the management console and restart it again, like that. And then you will see here that something has happened. So it has copied this template to that one here with a name, with a date and time. You see here also on the subscription items, you see that this is the one here, the second one, which I just subscribed to. And also here you see as an output, this has been generated, so this is the output. This is just a vehicle that this subscription will work via PCo. And yeah, let's see. We had some problems before. I don't know what happened there. Normally, I think it won't work again. Oh, that's too bad. It worked before. Okay. I write that one and should be updated. Yeah. This is a bug. So if it happens in your case, please raise a message. Right. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to tell. Of course, this is just the OPC's customizing environment, and if you use PI sheets, that's really similar than with the ODA case. Also, if you have already set up all your tags and stuff with ODA, if you just use the same settings as you have done it for ODA, for PCo, and you just stop ODA and start PCo, it should work. So that's something to remind you. Probably there's not much to do for you. Of course, you have to test it then, but I think it should be fine. Okay, I think we leave questions for afterwards, because I don't know how long Uwe will take. I have to give him. He's already. Yeah. Okay, you're already presenter, so that you can. I shut up my sharing, and you can start sharing, Uwe, please.
Hi folks, this is Uwe speaking. I just want to give you a short introduction into the development that we did for connecting external data sources to business suite systems. So the main motivation for doing so was that today we don't have a quite simple and easy way. If you have an ABAP-based application, in your application, in the set namespace, user exits and bodies and interfaces, and to use this application to get data from the non-SAP outside world, like OPC data sources or Excel spreadsheet, MS Access databases, to read the values, get the values, and also handle notifications and handle events that are triggered from the outside. So our approach was that we provide some pieces of ABAP coding. As far as I'm a developer, it will be a little bit developer-like what you'll see next year, and just guide you to the package. We were able to locate this package in the lowest layer of an SAP system. This means this is belonging to SAP NetWeaver basis, and these features and functions are not only available for the newest enhancement package. We were able to downport this interface layer package down to ERP 2005. This means to NetWeaver 7, and also all enhancement packages like EHP2 upwards, they benefit from this information, from this downport. If you have a look at the coding, I don't want to go that much into details. You will see that there's not, let's say, big chunks of coding that have to be understood to be able to connect your application to PCo and to the outside world. In addition, we provide something that we call a test report. It's also included in every package as _PCo, independent of the SAP release. And this program allows you to do, let's say, the basic functionalities concerning OPC DA. This means reading data, writing data of external data sources, also providing subscriptions, so subscribe for value changes of tags or data items.
And Uwe, this is just a sample program, correct?
This is just a sample program, but it's also contained in your, let's say, in the SAP layer. Okay, and we have also so-called implementation guide. You can access this implementation guide from the help portal, but it's also part of an SAP node that we provided, and it's this implementation guide is written in English and in German. And just want to show you the first.
By the way, in my blog post that I showed you before, I've noted that OSS number note number down.
Yeah,
you can have it there.
So this is great. Just want to give you a small glimpse of the system prerequisites. So this is the newest NetWeaver ABAP release here. And for the lower SAP releases, we have, unfortunately, you have to implement support packages to get this ABAP integration layer. But yeah, it pretty works for all of the releases, independent of release state. Okay. just want to give you two demos. One demo is something that we are querying information from an SAP application. So we want to read values from external data sources, weight of a weighing system, and we want to use this information in time ticket confirmations or other stuff. And I will demonstrate you in the first part of this querying mechanism how the sample report works, and in the second part I will show you how this can be realized in the time ticket confirmation SAP standard transaction to get these external values for produced quantities, scrap and rework via OPC access with the help of our tiny little friends called our integration layer part. Okay, so just check that we start here the PCo agent. So this is my PCo agent, which connects the Kepler OPCDA server, the SAP source system, a business suite system. So I'll try to start it, and hopefully everything properly works. Take it a short time. Okay, up and running. And now I'm just going to switch back into my business suite system again and start the report. Execute it. And what you see here on the first screen is you have a variety of possibilities. You can define a report variant, as I did before, just for demo. And here I populate this first selection screen with the RFC destination. And the RFC destination that has to be maintained in the SAP system is, let's say, the link between the SAP system and the corresponding agent instance. So here my agent, it exchanges data with the SAP system. And here we have something that we call an application handle. This can be freely defined by you. In our standard case, we have a sample implementation for also handling notifications. I'm going to show you later on, where we have defined this application subtesting. And the application handle itself, it can contain application-specific information like the number of the confirmation. And this will allow you also, in our second example, to identify, as far as you get PCo notifications into the business suite system, what to do with the notification, how to handle it, and how to determine which activities have to be triggered afterwards. Okay, and keep my fingers crossed. First thing that I do is start this report, and what you see here is, let's say, an LV tree, and it shows you the hierarchy of the OPCDA server, and it allows me also to go to the server groups. And what I just want to do here, I just want to have a look at all of the tags that I have defined in the tag group. Okay. And so it was quite quickly, this thing that the system did, it set a read statement to the OPC server and gave him the information which tags should be read. And here in this column you see the path to this tag, and also the values that I initially have here for this text. So what I just want to do, I will just simply change the tag value. And oops, another one. And say write the value changes. So what the system did is I execute an RFC call to the PCo, and PCo gets the information, the so-called query information about the tags that should be changed and the values that should be changed. PCo hands over the information via the PCo agent to the external OPC DBA server. And then if everything is okay and the value could be read, then PCo returns success messages. And what we can see here, so this is the success message of PCo transferred to ABAP. And if we check our server, what I'm just going to do, then you can see here, if we just have this OPC quick client, another view on the OPC DA server, that we have exactly those values. So work fine and work quite quick. Okay. So just going to check what I want to present to you today. And now I just want to give you another example. And this is just going for my process order. I've got a process order here. Most of you are familiar with that. And process orders kind of operations and phases. And here in our case, we have 2 phases. And what we want to do is that we want to execute confirmation. Just to try to confirm phase 20. And I like let's just enter the order. This is phase. So, okay, just go through it. And what I want to do is I want to press this button. This button means actual data. And what I want to have is that I want to have information of the yield and the scrap, and this information should be given from outside of my system. We'll just, because the values are quite too high, just change the values. So this text will contain the confirmed quantity. Let's say 40 point, and I will have less scrap because production went quite well. Write the value changes.
Of course, these values would be written by some machine, some equipment, not manually.
So this is just for theming purposes. Okay, and then we go back to the time ticket confirmation, and I will just press this button. Don't be scared. I will tell you why this works here. And you see the values from the OPCDA server are populated exactly in the field yield and scrap. So you can execute this time ticket confirmation, and the values that got in have been put in via this query mechanism. So okay, this is something to show. We can just okay.
So what did you do? You implemented a
user exit.
User exit, correct? Mm-hmm.
This is just what I want you to show after having successfully shown that the partial configuration came in. So for the phase, you can just, sorry, this was quite too fast. And so we have this confirmed yield, 40.3.345. Our implementation guide contains an example for confirming produced quantity scrap and rework for production orders. And what I simply did is I implemented a user exit, standard user exit. Hope you're not too scared if I'm going to show you how this looks like in ABAP. Okay.
We did that before.
Okay, so we have this include the process order. Here's a user exit which is processed if I every time I press this button to get the actual values. And Also, in our implementation guide, this coding is contained. What I just want to point to is if we want to call our PCo agent, the first thing that we do is that we create an object, which is so-called a PCo handler object. We will know that we want to execute a query, so we get the interface, the proper interface. Then we will define and populate the information about the tag ID and the tag path that we have. And the next thing that we do is just we execute this interface method. That means read the tag information. And then what comes back in an ABAP structure is the tag results. And based on the tag results and on the data type, we have a value transfer, because we transfer the information about the tag values as data references. Now we difference it and just shift it to the corresponding fields of the confirmation structure. And if something happens, you can also raise exceptions or create application log entries, and that's it. So the complete calling of the external data source via PCo is mainly this part. In our example, we hard-coded the tag information, but you're quite free to perhaps use characteristics for creating the path information.
So to make it very clear again, so the integration to the business suite with PCo does not mean that inside standard business suite application logic, PCo is included. As you have seen, we deliver interfaces, classes, and function modules to help you to implement, but this is something you have to do on your own. Or partner can do it. So I have one partner who have worked with a customer, and they have really built a small, lightweight ABAP MES system in their system. And so that's all possible now with this solution.
And also important to know, some of you who know MRI might ask what are the differences. And the differences concerning this solution, on this part of the solution, is that we expect that all of the business logic that you have lies within your application. And what we here provide is just the connection to the external data source. So we don't define any business logic on PCo side. We just give you simple interfaces and extendable interfaces that allow you to read values, write values, or let's say the complete easy stuff that you all want to do without building, let's say, an infrastructure, a big, large infrastructure for it. Okay, so second demo that I would like to show, good time, is the information that we have on the one hand the querying part, and on another hand we have the notification part for our PCDA. This means you can react on changes of the external data values of the external data source and trigger follow-up information. And one thing that is also included in this implementation guide is we create a confirmation, time-visit confirmation, triggered by notification. And here we just have to use our favorite test report, but starting now with a different variant. Okay, so it should be this one. Okay, what you see here, we changed the value for the application, and we changed the application handler. This application handle information is the number of confirmation of a production order. And what we want to do is, within let's say our implementation, is if we want to subscribe some values, Always checking that the agent is running. And if the value is changed, then the system should automatically trigger a confirmation to the SAP system and confirm exactly the confirmation of, I think it's operation 10 of this production order. Okay, so we just start again. Use my famous tags. So here are the actual values, which you also define small kind of rework. Okay. And now we're just subscribing. What you saw here is I defined a notification template that Arne already mentioned in the PCo agent instance. It's connected to the system, and it comes up, and I can choose the template that I would like to have. And using the template also allows us to define to which destination the information is sent. Okay, and you also see here, as far as the subscription is valid, these are a little ice cube. This means that the subscription exists for the tag. So, and if I'm not wrong, we can just think due to the OPC server that's connected, it sends the first should send us the first confirmation as far as I did the subscription. But this is OPC DA server specific for Kepware. And now we can just have a look at the production order. See if nothing happens. Okay, that's the confirmation. And now we have operation 10. So the quantity was 42. Show you the values that we had during the initial startup. We confirmed 1776 kilograms. The yield was 40.345, and the rework is 0.656. So this was triggered by this confirmation. And you see also here the confirmation number that I added was part of the application handler. So this seems to be a little bit of magic, but it's quite easy to implement. We had one big challenge, and then the biggest challenge for us was that we had to provide a mechanism that allows you, as customers, to define a variety of actions and let's say follow-up actions when PCo notifications are sent to the business suite system. And in our case, we provided a mechanism where we offer a superclass, and the superclass, called PCo notification handler, just consists of one method called execute. And if you have a look at it, it's empty. So what you're going to do, if you want to react on notifications, and I'll just open another window, then you first build your own class, Z namespace. So I'm just hoping I get this the right one. Okay. This is the superclass that redefines this method, execute, and it inherits this method from the superclass PCo notification handler. So if I double click on this, then you see here, okay, this is application specific. Here just enter the information and all of the stuff that allows me to trigger the activity that I want to execute. If a notification comes into the system and is directed to trigger this time ticket confirmation. So here we will determine a little bit of order stuff, and what's also important here, the application handle that's really defined. It contains then a confirmation number, and with the help of the confirmation number, I can also access the data of the corresponding operation order. Do a little bit more determining parameters and information to trigger the time ticket confirmation via BAPI execution. And what I also do is I get the information about the values from the so-called expression data table here in ABAP. And here the names are the names of my tags. And I also assign this information to the corresponding field of the confirmation structure. And the next thing that I do is I just call this BAPI, which might be familiar to some of you, and trigger the work so the information is transferred. And that's it. See, we have 66 lines of code, which is quite not that big.
And you have described all this also in your implementation guide?
Yes, correct. Okay. So one question that should come into your mind, okay, we implemented this set class, but how gets the system the information that this set class implementation should be used? Okay, there's another thing that you have to implement, and this is you have to tell the system the name of your class. And to be also very flexible in this way, we have provided body. And this body contains a filter value, and the filter value is the application it's defined. So you have to create a method, implement this method, and the method itself means get class name. Here's our standard implementation for the notification procedure. Okay, and the only thing that you do here is you enter the application handle. The system will take the application handle information here and check if it's the proper one, and then it will provide you with the class name that you defined before. So in our case, the set class name will be returned. So, and that's it.
Yeah, Uwe, thanks a lot for two really nice and very technical presentations. Hopefully you could understand a little bit of it, or at least you can get some colleagues that can look at this recording later on and probably find more information. But again, the implementation guide is found there in the OSS node. Okay, let's open up for some questions. We have still 8 minutes left, so I guess there would be some. Any questions? Are you muted, probably? Hello? Is there anybody still with us?
Yeah, hello, Arnie?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you impressed or are you shocked?
So take a big deep breath, and if you have any questions, you can ask them.
Okay, I wanted to give everybody a chance to ask questions about this presentation first, but if there aren't any, I'll have an unrelated question.
Oh yeah, that would be very, very kind. If there are any questions on PCo, on the ODA stuff, or on the business suite integration stuff that Uwe showed, please go ahead. Well, either we have lost everybody or we have really covered all questions already. Yeah, go ahead then with the other question.
Okay. I've emailed you on this already once. I'm still working on trying to basically unlock fixes based on predecessor status, and I found there is a function module that looks at predecessors and tells you whether it's confirmed or not, and it returns a return value of a 0 or a 1, but it's in a text field. It's not a numeric field, and when I try to use that, I can't figure out how to use that against the command. I can do the command off of a formula using a numeric value, but I haven't figured out how to use the text value to control the command.
Yeah, so Uwe did this function module, and I believe he also tested it with this XSteps from the library. Did you use the one from the library as well and try that out?
One from the which library? The one that.
Not sure. Oh, we didn't do it into. Okay. Sorry, my fault. There's no example with a. We have an XStep library, but it seems that we didn't include that into that library. Yeah, I know that I have tried to look at your issue already. Somehow the systems I have here at hand, it didn't work out there for other reasons. I couldn't investigate. Also, I don't have so much time right now. I don't know. Do you have any ideas what could happen there?
No, but with an OSS message is already opened because it really worked. Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't have published it.
But just a question: if you want to have a numeric value and you get a characteristic value right now, why don't you just create your own function module which is calling this function module and convert it to a numeric value?
That's a good idea.
It's pretty easy. It's done in 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought maybe I was missing something inside of to control commands. Since the module was the SAP provided standard function module.
Yeah, but with characteristics in commands or in formulas, you cannot work. You have to do a numeric comparison or something like that. So whenever I'm using the calculation in commands or the formula in commands, I'm converting the values, the characteristic values to numerics, or I'm using numerics, and then I can use.
I slightly disagree. At least in the past, it was also possible to use the parameters that were based on characteristics, also in formulas, and then those used to work. So probably. I cannot rule out that somebody from our support has identified such a thing as a bug and has fixed it. I'm not quite sure about that. So, but of course you can try to remap that to a numeric value and figure it out.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Anything else in the remaining 2 minutes?
I'm just slightly fighting with default values in the PI sheets with the event date. If I have an event date as a characteristic and automatically evaluate it, I can display it, of course. But if I have it as a default value, as a parameter default value to another date, I never get this event date to my other date that I want to show. For example, I want to show some execution of some SAP date, and I want to give it a default value of the event date. So I go to the default value of my parameter and say, please take the event date as a default value, but it's always empty. I know that it is filled because I just do an output of the event date, so there is a value, but it never takes it as a default value. That's what I'm finding right now. But okay, it's not.
Sorry, no. You're not meaning the things that are related to automatic calculation. This, where you set the event date and time.
No, the event date is working. If I define it as a characteristic and say automatically create the date, the current date, and if I display it in the line, it's always filled. It's okay. But if I say in the line, please allow me to input in another date, which is clean in process date, and say, okay, but don't leave it empty, just put in as a default this event date. Then I was assuming that in the characteristics default value you can say, hey, valuation type is a parameter, and which parameter? It's the parameter where I have my event date.
But Peter, it's just guessing, but probably there might be an issue here with the timing, because I mean the event date might be evaluated after this whole things with default values are executed. That might be the issue here.
Okay, then I have to try something else. I was just trying it today and it did not work, and so I said, something is wrong. Might be with the timing.
Yeah.
That the event date is evaluated after this default value is set.
Could be.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a pretty intense session. I'm pretty sure that the next session will be a rather chatty one again, but that was because PCo was now released. I felt it was a good time now to show all this. And
sorry, for me as a feedback, first of all I have to understand where can I use this PCo. I understood what Uwe was showing in the development, but first I have to know where can I use this. This was the reason why I didn't have a question.
Yeah, but Peter, you are also using the ODA connector, correct?
Correct.
For OPC connectivity, yes. So so you can use PCo now instead of the ODA connector. And what I didn't mention, by the way, the ODA connector only allows COM connection. So the ODA connector has to be on the same machine as the OPC server. PCo, on the other hand, can be installed on a remote machine, and it can access OPC data values via DCOM. So if you want to do all this hassle with DCOM settings, I know that not everybody is happy with that, but if you want to do that, then you can use that. So that's an advantage, and it's of course released for the actual operating systems, so officially.
Yeah, and also OPC Unified Architecture is also supported, so we provide an OPC UA agent as well as not for ODA, but for PCo. And also, if you want to access the Excel spreadsheet, perhaps you can have a session later on this topic.
And that would be maybe a request. So maybe just let this sink into your head and provide feedback then on the blog. Probably ask if you have any specific questions, something you didn't understand. Maybe